different about these old houses versus new ones is that the old ones, they put the moldings, like the casing of your window, after they put on the plaster. So in newer construction, a lot of times what they do is they put on your casing and then they run your drywall and butt up to it. That's not what they did in these old houses. So there's a piece of casing and they went right over here, and you see the plaster's behind it. So that's what they did. This is the plaster, this is the lath. And so what they did is they put it up here, and then they'll cover it with a piece of casing, like molding. This whole section is a weight pocket. You see, these are weights. I taped it because there's nothing holding it in right now. Because the only thing that holds in these windows from just flying out is a little piece of molding called a stop molding. So there's a piece of casing that goes here, and then there's a little one right here that will hold this window in it. It creates a channel. So on this one, you can see the casing is still here, covering up the edge of the plaster that's unfinished. And then this piece right here is called a stop bead or stop molding because it stops the window from coming out. And it creates a channel. So you have, this is a parting bead, which makes a part in between the two channels, the two sashes to run in between in this channel. So that's taken off in the other one, and this is taken off of the other one. But that's what holds it in. And when I pull this off, you can take out the window. So this part of the sash right here is called the meeting rail because it's where the two sashes meet. And this is angled, and the other one has the opposite angle. So they form a tight seal right here. Okay, so it also extends out past this parting bead right here.
Oh, yeah.
You know, which creates a problem because the way this parting bead is, it has to slide out this way. Most windows will have one side that's notched, and the notched side is over here. See how this side
got a big old gap.
has a notch. So this parting bead right here, excuse my nails, can pull out and come out. So so this is the side that we want to pull out because you only have to pull out one side to get the sash out. If there's not a notch, you can always take an oscillating tool and just kind of cut it a little bit. Because first off, the ones for there's a weight for each window. Well, it's 2 weights for each window. So these are weights for the bottom sash, and they're equally balanced. So that's how when you push these up, you see how they go down.
Oh yeah.
They're ribbed, and that's why it's why it stays. So it's counterbalanced. So if this window is 5 pounds, then you're gonna have a 2.5 and a 2.5 on each side, and so you can stop it anywhere. And so if you've got old windows and they just slam down or whatever, the weights are probably cut or broken or something, or something like that. Also, these ropes have been painted, and you can imagine a rope that is painted is stiff and won't go through those pulleys very smoothly. So you're not supposed to paint these ropes. And you're also not supposed to paint in this channel because see how it adds up this like buildup right here? It makes it tighter and tighter and tighter for this window to fit in there. So it's when it's like really, really hard to slide up and down, it's because there's too much paint in here. So when you do need to paint your window sashes right here, you should always take them out, paint them, and then put them back in. That's another interesting fact about these old houses. They're huge windows. They're so tall. The reason that, and another reason for double hung, is that these houses were built for light and air. So big open windows for lots of light, and with the air, you would open up the bottom sash a little bit, the top sash a little bit, and you would get this convection of air in your house, and that would help cool your house, air it out, that kind of thing. That was like old school air conditioning. That's the way they did it. And they have cats. Okay. All right. These pulleys, some people say like, oh, well, do I take them out or just leave them in there? There's 2 kinds generally. So if you see screws in here, that means you can unscrew them and pull them out and oil them up, lube them, maybe if they're bent or something, fix them. But you really don't want to do that with these if you don't have to, because this is called it slips in, it's like a compression, it's got barbs on the side of it. So when it's hammered in, if you pull it out, it's like pulling a fish hook out. It'll tear up this wood. So if you can leave this in, this one's turning just fine, I'll probably try to get some of this paint off, but leave it, This one, I'll oil, it's this little stiff, so I'll WD-40 and try to it's a little bit bent. I'll try to hammer it and try to squeeze it back into place. But other than that, I'm leaving them in there. One other thing that's interesting is that the pulley is rounded on the bottom. And so that's what it's meant to hold a rope. If you ever see them and they're squared, they're like just squared off, it's meant to hold a chain. But rope or cord is far more common. Okay, hold my knife. So, something to keep in mind is that everything is designed on the exterior to shed water. So this sill right here is angled. Right here. It angles down and away from the house, usually about a 10-degree angle. Sometimes sometimes 9, sometimes 11. But the way you know which is top and bottom is this is the bottom and it's not square, it's angled. So this end it goes like this.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. See it.
See it? So you know that's the bottom because the top will be square.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's how you know what the bottom is.
Okay.